Hi, this is Diana at the Bangor Public Library doing my ABC story time. Well, we are on the fourth letter of the alphabet. That is the letter D. But before I show you my alphabet chart, I'm going to say, how are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you today? So it'll be a Thursday. I hope you have a nice Thursday. Up here behind me, I have the ABCDs. So we're on the fourth letter, A, B, C, D. D is for deserts. Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I've sung my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Now, every time I do a new letter of the alphabet, I will start with an alphabet book based on the theme of the week. And I have the Desert Alphabet book by Jerry Pallotta, and it's published by Charlesbridge Publishing Company. So a lot of these desert animals aren't in the United States, but there are probably some you've never heard of. The Desert Alphabet book. A is for Australia, water holding frog. B is for Bactrian camel. C is for a crimson chat. D is for a dromedary camel. A dromedary camel has a different number of humps than a Bactrian camel. E is for elf owl. F is for a fennec fox. The fennec fox has a big ears. G is for a golden wheel spider. H is for a head-standing beetle. I is for an inland tapon. J is for a gird. K is for a Kulan. L is for Livingston. They actually have these cactuses at Walmart. They look like rocks. M is for meerkat. N is for Namaqua sandgrouse. O is for oasis. P is for a palmate gecko. Q is for a quail thrush. R is for a red racer. S is for saguaro. T is for a tortoise. U is for ursine giant skipper. V is for vaquero. W is for Wetwetia, and X is for Azarix. Y is for Yardang, and Z is for Azalta. These are some of the things you find in a desert. Now this is one of my favorite books. It's called Baby Rattlesnake, and I have brought my Mexican maraca to pretend it's this rattle. Baby Rattlesnake by Teata and published by Children's Book Press. baby rattlesnake. Out in the desert where the rattlesnakes lived, there was a little baby rattlesnake who cried all the time because he did not have a rattle. He said to his mother and father, "I don't know why I don't have a rattle. I'm just like my brother and sister. How can I be a rattlesnake if I don't have a rattle?" Mother and father rattlesnake said, "You are too young to have a rattle. When you get to be old as your brother and sister, you'll have a rattle too." But baby rattlesnake did not want to wait, so he just cried and cried. He shook his tail, and when he couldn't hear a rattle sound, he cried even louder. Mother and father said, "Shh, shh, shh." Brother and sister said, "Shh, shh, shh." But baby rattlesnake wouldn't stop crying. He kept the rattlesnake people awake all night. The next morning, the rattlesnake people called a big council. They talked and they talked just like people do, but they couldn't decide how to make that little baby rattlesnake happy. He did not want anything else but a rattle. At last, one of the elders said, "Go ahead, give him a rattle. He's too young and he'll get into trouble, but let him learn a lesson. I just want to get some sleep." So they gave baby rattlesnake a rattle. Baby rattlesnake loved his rattle. He shook his tail. For the first time I heard it. He was so excited he sang a rattle song. He did a danced a rattle dance. Soon baby rattlesnake learned to play tricks with his rattle. He hid in the rocks, and when the small animals came by, he darted out rattling. He made Jackrabbit jump. He made Old Man Turtle jump. He made Prairie Dog jump. Each time baby rattlesnake laughed and laughed, he thought it was fun to scare the animal people. Mother and father warned baby rattlesnake, "You must not use your rattle in such a way." Big brother and big sister said, "You are not being careful with your rattle." The rattlesnake people told baby rattlesnake to stop acting so foolish with his rattle. But did baby rattlesnake listen? One day baby rattlesnake said to his mother and father, "How will I know a chief's daughter when I see her?" "Well, she's usually very beautiful and walks with her head held high," said father. "And she's very neat in her dress," asked mother. "What do you want to know?" asked father. "Because I want to scare her," said baby rattlesnake. And he started right on down the path before his mother and father could warn him never to do a thing like that. The little fellow reached the place where the Indians traveled. He curled himself up on a log and he started rattling. He was having a wonderful time. All of a sudden, he saw a beautiful maiden coming toward him from a long way off. She walked with her head held high, and she was very neat in her dress. "Ah," thought baby rattlesnake, "she must be the chief's daughter." Baby rattlesnake hid in the rocks. He was excited. This was going to be his best trick. He waited and he waited. The chief's daughter came closer and closer. When she was in just the right spot, he darted out from the rock. "Ho!" cried the chief's daughter. She whirled around, stepping on baby's rattlesnake rattle and crushing it to pieces. Baby rattlesnake looked at his beautiful rattle scattered all over the trail. He didn't know what to do. He took off for home as fast as he could. With great sobs, he told mother and father what had happened. They wiped his tears and gave him big rattlesnake hugs. For the rest of that day, baby rattlesnake stayed safe and snug, close by his rattlesnake family. The end. Now, I'm going to shake my rattle once more. I'm going to sing a little song about Sydney the snake. Have you seen Sydney the snake? Sydney the snake, Sydney the snake. Have you seen Sydney the snake? He is over there. Rattling his tail back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Rattling his tail back and forth, making a merry tune. I'm sure maybe somewhere in your house, Mom or Dad keeps a cactus plant. Now this one is plastic, but guess what? It even has the thorns, the pinchy things that cactus have. So they're also called succulents, and they're really fun to keep. But I'm going to tell you something. Don't sit on a cactus. Don't sit on a cactus. It will hurt you bad. No, don't sit on a cactus. It will make you sad. Now in your craft bags you will have 31 beads and a pipe cleaner. And this is to make a little rattlesnake. So let me show you how to make your rattlesnake out of a pipe cleaner and 31 beads. You take your pipe cleaner and you have to fold it to keep the bead on. And you can use any pattern you want. So I have a purple bead, let me think. Then I have a red bead. And I have a blue bead. And then I have an orange bead and a pink bead. And 31 beads later, your beads will be up to here. So you have to take and make a circle with your pipe cleaner and tie it on itself to make the head. And when you get done, here is Sydney, the snake, right here. And because he's a rat made with a pipe cleaner, you can twist him into shapes. You can hide him in one of your mom's cactus plants that scare people. I'm so glad that you'll be able to make this snake. Then the last thing we have is a domino game. That is in your sheet, your bag. So there are 4 different kinds of animals in the desert. There's arthropod, which are bugs, mammals, there are reptiles, and there are birds. Now I'm sure you've played dominoes before with your family. And they're usually black with these beads on them. So let me see, I have a mammal, I have a mule deer. So let's say you're playing with your sister, your brother. You've passed out all the squares. I have a mammal, and guess what? Your sister, she has a mammal too. So she can put it right there. Now I can either do an arthropod, which is a bug, or a reptile. Oh, I am so lucky. I actually have a reptile. Now, my player who I'm playing against has to have an arthropod or a mammal, or he can't go. And guess what? I have 2 birds, so I can't go. So the player you're playing against will have another turn until you have no more little squares. So I hope you have a great time making the rattlesnake and playing desert dominoes. So next week I hope you come back, and next week will be the 5th letter of the alphabet. And the 5th letter of the alphabet is the letter E. E for elves. And do you know there's elves that are around not even when it's Christmas? See you next week.